Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chat Photography with Jorj. And thank you very much for being present. We've got a few other people I have to let in right now. Oh, wonderful. So, who do we have here? Steve. Hi, Steve. Hi, Scott. And hi, Darrell. And hi, David.
Hi there. Hey,
Nice to have you
George.
here. Yeah, and we've got, I think one person on YouTube right now. But we'll see. That always changes throughout the night as we go along. So, oh, Maurice is coming in too. So Maurice will be here. Hi, Maurice. How are you?
Good, George. Waiting for anyone else?
Yeah, I'm just chatting a little bit, waiting for a couple of people. It's interesting. Um, I've been trying to share the chat with more and more people, and today, actually, I got a response from yesterday's email to Nikon, and they responded and they want me to fill in a little bit of a form where they will look at it and decide if they want to do a little bit of a presentation here. That would be terrific if they did.
Are you going to tell them I've been a lifelong Canon shooter?
Yeah, well, you can do that and they'll try to convert you, I'm sure. But
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
you know what? I'm doing the same thing with Canon and Fuji and whoever else I can reach out to. Yeah, I don't
Cool.
discriminate. I don't discriminate. Yeah, anybody wants to come in, they're welcome to come in. Okay, so Steve, I just want to, yeah, I've got you, Steve, and I've got Scott, I've got you, and I think, good. Now I've got everybody, and I'm doing a couple of things a little bit differently this time with Darrell, because usually what I've done in the past is whoever has come on, I've kind of read a little bit about their bio. And so I talked to Darrell earlier and I said, how do you feel about, instead of me reading your bio and I'm just a talking head here reading about it, what if I just ask you some questions and you answer the questions? So more of an interview style. And we'll see how it works and I don't stumble all over myself with words and things. So we'll see if that works out. I'm kind of interested in experimenting with this a little bit.
Okay, so
Uh,
George, where are you? I don't see you. Where are you?
what do you mean? Where am I?
Well, your smiling face, I don't see you on the screen.
Oh, you don't see me on the Zoom screen?
Nope.
Everybody else?
Yeah, can see
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Oh, there you are. You're behind the presentation.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
that'll flip back and forth because when you're doing the presentation will have to be in front, and you can move it over a bit, and so you can still see the Zoom screen. But
Okay.
yeah, you'll have to be on the presentation app in order to be able to switch windows.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I
All
just
right.
want to be able. Right. Okay, hang on. I'm doing that right now.
Okay, good.
Is it moving out of? Okay, can you guys see the? Okay. I just need to be able to see the slides. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just so
Okay, we're
you can
good.
change. And I just
Gotcha.
want to make sure that, let's see. No, no, yeah, you see, you moved something on the slides.
I just moved it over to the side. I'll just put it
Okay,
back,
yeah, there, that's
and
better.
that's where it was. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
righty, I'm going to go back here. Good. All right. Oh, Gabriel's here. Holy mackerel. Gabriel, how are you
Yes.
doing? Yeah, nice to see you.
Oh, the pleasure is always mine.
I'm I'm going to place you as number 7. I think I've got 7 placeholders. There's only so many guests I can actually put on camera. And what I've done this time is I've actually put everybody here in a placeholder. And since there's nobody right now except one person on YouTube, but I'm just going to show you what I'm going to try to do and see what
Okay.
you think of it. So later on, when there are questions and as people are speaking, I'll be able to go to, for example, go to me because I'm here, and then I'll go to guest 3, and then I can go to guest 4, and then I can go to guest 5, and I can go to guest 6 and guest 7. And I don't have any more room than that. They don't allow for, I think I can go up to 10 actually.
That's funny.
What's
I'm
funny?
reversed. I'm one of them.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure if I can switch you around or you have to switch yourself around at the camera. Anybody else reversed?
This is
Yeah,
my
you're always reversed.
First, yeah, I'm reversed.
Yeah, you always show up reversed.
but when you select me, then it's correct.
Let's see. Hold up your right hand. Yeah, you are reversed.
Right.
Okay. All right. Who else do we have here? Frank, nice to have you in the chat. Welcome.
Yeah, hi, how are you doing?
You're doing very well. Okay, and we have somebody else coming in. So we're going to have a little bit of a crowd tonight. Jocelyn,
Hello.
to see you. Yeah, hey, how are you?
Good. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. I'm just chatting here because I'm just waiting for it looks like people are kind of drifting in, and while they're drifting in, I'll just gab a little bit and see let's see, I've got one more. Okay, Frank, do you have a camera?
Oh, somewhere. Just a sec.
Okay, now I've got at least a black image.
There's Frank. Hi,
Am I
Frank.
Yeah, there. Now we gotcha. Okay, and let's see.
Not sure if 2 of me is not too many.
2 of you.
Yeah. I'm still under your name. I have a double personality.
Well, I hope you can live up to it.
That will be difficult.
Yeah, it would
I will
be.
do my best.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, I think we can get started. Let's see. Yeah, we're good to go. I might as well get started with the crowd that we have here, and as people come in, I'll just let them come in, and they can, if they miss the first part of it, they can always go back to YouTube and have a look at it if they really want to. So, getting started. My switcher
Jorj,
has turned off. I just had.
I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. It's 2 of me. And you're not visible. Turn it back.
What? Anybody else have 2 like that?
2 of me. Can you guys see me as Gabriel and me?
Yep. Yep. I see Gabriel's camera and Gabriel's camera is
Hang on.
Jorj.
Hang on. That's because
Adam is
there. How's
guest
that?
number
Hey.
6 or
Ta-da!
something.
Yeah. Yeah. There was 2 of you because I was down. Never mind. Doesn't matter. I was down in the question section. So when you ask a question, I'll be able to switch to you. Okay. So let's see. What do I have here? I think what I'm going to start with is in July, I have somebody coming in by the name of Jeff Shaw. And Jeff is a wedding photographer, and he's going to be talking about how he succeeds at doing weddings. And so he's going to be talking about his workflow. He's going to be talking about the equipment he uses, some of the challenges he faces, and so on. So that will be on July the 22nd at 7 o'clock. And I was saying to everybody earlier that I put a letter out, an invitation out to Nikon to join us, and they sent back a form which I have to fill out, and then they will decide if they want to participate. I also sent out an invitation to Bell Art in Hamilton, and they said they will participate and they'll put together something to talk about some of the gadgets that you can attach to your camera or work with. So they're going to have a couple of things that they'll be able to present over a period of time, I guess. So that'll be interesting for them to see that. I put the same invitation out to Henry's, but I don't think they're really interested. So, I keep bugging people, but it'll be nice to have um, a couple of stores in here talking about the different types of equipment they have. It'll be nice to have Nikon here. I think Nikon will be talking about the advantages of having a mirrorless camera and some of the things that um, are good about that. And then I think they'll talk about full size and crop size sensors as well, advantages, disadvantages. So that's in the future. But anyway, Jeff Shaw will be coming on July the 22nd. So tonight, we're going to have Darrell, who's here with us this evening, and he's going to be talking about taking photographs of the Witch of November, the waves down on Lake Erie. And so I'd like to welcome Darrell. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're going to be talking about this. And a lot of people have been waiting to hear about your adventures down on Lake Erie, taking these photographs, and how you did it without getting wet. So we'll see what happens there. Now,
Failed at
I
that,
just
Jorj. Failed at that.
okay. So just a little bit about Darrell. At 12, uh, he began on a Christmas morning in '66, I believe. He received a Kodak
In 60,
Instamatic
66.
'66, yes,
Yep.
1966. Just so people know, he received a Kodak Instamatic 100 with a couple of 126 film cartridges, and I guess some flash cubes.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to turn something on here. Good. Um, then this was followed by a Polaroid black and white instant camera, and in '69, his first 35 millimeter, a Canon TL-QL, complete with radioactive FL 50 millimeter 1.8 lens. And he still uses this nifty 50 with an adapter today on his Canon R5. So this camera, along with a later Canon F1, was used primarily to record general life and family cottage in Muskoka, and he spent way too much money on film. Not to mention he was also doing minor amount of darkroom work at the time. So you used these cameras for decades, but
Yep.
then you ventured into medium format. And what was your camera of choice when you did that?
I picked up a pair of Bronica STRIs. It's a 645,
Uh-huh.
and there was a professional photographer friend of mine in Toronto, Gary Beachy, um, and he was getting out of film completely, and he had these two cameras with a 120, a 70, and a 45. And he said, give me $200, you can have the whole thing. So I had these two medium format cameras. So I started putting film through those, and you very quickly discovered that that turns into like $2 a frame, even back then, you know.
Yeah.
And it got expensive, even with doing a little bit of darkroom stuff, which wasn't a very long period of time because darkroom is expensive to keep and maintain, and it uses up space. And I moved, so like the darkroom was gone, you know.
Yeah, but so
Anyway,
then you were hooked, right?
oh yeah, long, really long before that, George.
Yeah.
Like it
Well,
happened
yeah.
when in 1977 I spent a lot of money on a Canon F1 body, and they're expensive camera,
Mhm.
you know, because they had like a titanium shutter assembly and all that kind of stuff back then. So yeah,
So, but
it's
then
been a
after,
lifelong it's been a
it,
lifelong obsession. Yeah.
yeah, but after that, that's when you got into digital around 2015.
Yeah, yeah. And I I kind of drifted away from it for a while. And then I said, God, I miss it. So I went down to Henry's and I bought a Canon 6D with with a 24 to 105 f4L lens on it on sale. And it came with a bunch of extras. So I all of a sudden discovered that instead of 24 frames, there was 2,000 frames on a card, and it didn't cost you anything, you know. So yeah, and then I said, well, you know, I've been doing this for decades, really, but I didn't have any formal education
And that's when
in
you
it.
started that.
That's when I signed up at Conestoga for their certificate program at night. Um, a couple of wonderful instructors. Jorj is first and foremost, and Sylvia Galbraith, who taught the introductory course, and it was wonderful. She was really, really good, and
Hmm.
it was a jump in formal education from film to digital. And back then, when you bought a Canon camera, it came with a CD, and you put that in your machine, and that was their, what are they called? PPS, Professional Photo, something or other. It was their editing program.
Hmm.
And it wasn't bad, you know, but then I discovered Lightroom and went bang. Oh, wow, is this ever good, you know? So yeah,
So when did you
so that's
graduate?
uh 2018,
Uh-huh.
2018. I had three courses with you, Jorj, I believe. That was really four,
Yeah.
because the portrait course was like a double semester.
But you got over that, didn't you?
Oh, no, you never get over. You're always thinking, looking at people, how would I shoot this? Now, you know, like,
I didn't mean the course. I mean, you got over having me as a teacher.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you got
recovered,
over it.
you know,
Good. Good.
it was a 12-step program. What can I say? You know, and
Now, what I'm going to do
um
is I'm just going to like bring you current. And um, so, The Witch of November, this is really your take on the work of Dave Sanford, who in 2015 first photographed these unusual wave phenomena during the fall storms at Port Stanley, right?
That's correct. That's correct. He started this whole thing. And do you want me to just go on it now, Jorj?
Um, just before you do,
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I've covered everything that needed to be covered here. I think I have. So, Darrell, what you're going to do is you're going to take it away.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jorj. And I got to say, I'm honored that you would ask me to do this. I truly am,
Thank
you
you.
know. Yeah. Okay. About this wonderful phenomena that happens during the fall storms in Port Stanley. Um, the term witch in November, many of you probably recognize it. It comes from a line in the Gordon Lightfoot song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which he wrote in 1976. The fall storms on Port Stanley, Maine Beach fit this characterization very well. And among many of the photographers who gather on the beach, this has become a common term used to describe these events. We brave these conditions to shoot the awesome storms and simply say, the witch is in. And if you've ever stood out there, you know what I mean. Okay, what it is. The prevailing winds hitting Port Stanley, commonly known as just Port, are from the southwest. Most of the storms are from this direction coming in from across Lake Erie. The pier in Port points out to the southeast, which is a right angle to the storm energy coming in. And when it's blowing, boy, there is energy. The thing that makes it so powerful is that the lake goes from 6 meters deep, around 200 meters offshore, and I'll show you a slide of that, to about 2 meters deep at the pier. This transition happens very quickly and runs approximately parallel to the pier. All the storm energy coming in gets funneled and accelerated by the shallower water. Its energy gets conserved, right? So it's got to do, it just goes faster. It then hits the pier at a right angle and gets reflected back out. When it hits the energy coming in, it has nowhere to go but up. And it goes, I put gloriously up, because you won't believe how tall some of these things get. These two frames show it. The Port Stanley Pier pointing southeast at a right angle to the storms coming in from the southwest. This is just a Google Maps image. And then the one on the right, see the dark blue line out in the back? That's around 200 meters away. And that's where the depth transition happens from deep to shallow. Okay, now, how this all started. This guy is Dave Sanford. Now, in 2015, Dave Sanford put on a wetsuit with his camera in an Aquatech housing and went out into the maelstrom of one of the fall port storms. He went out there with with another buddy of mine. With him was another photo buddy, Art Johnson. Pics of him later. Dave posted a series on these shots on social media called Liquid Mountains. It quickly went viral and were seen by Petapixel. Who here follows follows petapixel. It's one of the world's largest photography sites. They're really good. Anyway, okay. I've got two links there, one for petapixel and one for Bored Panda. They were also picked up by Bored Panda, ABC, CBC, Lens Culture, and other news outlets. This led to a position with a Norwegian exploration company taking scientists and photographers to Antarctica. He's been there 2 or 3 times with them. As a result of Dave's initial work, this crazy idea of going out there in this water, today, when the November storms come in, it is now not unusual to find 25 photographers out on the beach with big lenses. As a result, as I said, it's now not unusual to see 20, 25 photographers out on the beach photographing these remarkable storms and the wave phenomena they create. People with big lenses dressed for Arctic storm conditions. One such storm, and I'll show you guys a couple of these photographs from it. They're just not to be believed. Had wind gusts approaching Category 1 hurricane strength and the ambient temperatures at the freezing point. We were all standing, leaning into the wind at about a 20-degree angle. You couldn't move. And the wind chills were just brutal. Like, even through good gloves, your hands just got frozen. You had to go back in the car every once in a while. Also, in winds like this, you cannot handhold a big lens because you're sitting on the beach and you're looking approximately southeast and the wind's coming at you from your right-hand side and you're trying to do this with this big lens. It's just going to go, like, you're not going to be able to hold the thing. So a weighted tripod or at minimum a low chair and a monopod is required. Also, the winds blow the storm water high up onto the beach. And honestly, I live on Vancouver Island now. I'm here for about half of the year. These events on Lake Erie are the closest thing that I've ever seen to an actual tidal surge, like tides. It's just unreal, like the amount of water that comes up. So I think it's time for some pictures. Any questions or anything?
Let's look at the pictures.
Okay. Okay. I also first want to mention how I met Dave, and this is all his fault, by the way, completely. I had nothing to do with this concept. I was just lucky enough to catch on to it and go out there and be able to take these shots. Dave did this. The article appeared on Petapixel on December 10th, 2015. And we bought here in port in about April of 2016, and I knew about this, and I really wanted to see these storms. So the following year, in the fall of 2016, one of the storms came in, and I was out there with my 24-105, and there's Dave. He's by himself, and he's sitting out there in the storm. No one else on the beach at this time. And I asked him, "Are you Dave Sanford?" And he said, "He's such an approachable guy. He's such a nice guy." And his career has been such as this. He was one of 3 official NHL photographers for 26 years. For 26 seasons for Stanley Cup night, the guy that took the picture of the winning team on the ice with the Stanley Cup, it was Dave. We'd sit and watch every year. We watched the game and they get out for the picture and there's Dave. He puts his skates on and goes out and takes the picture. Um, the famous photograph of Wayne Gretzky, where he's in the locker room, his last game, and he's hanging up the skates behind him. He asked Dave Sanford to take that picture for him. And he's a guy from London, like he's a really nice guy. Anyway, let's see some pictures. That there's Dave, and um, he's sitting there on the beach, and he's taking these pictures. Now, it's normally 27 feet from the top of the light standard to the normal water level. And take a look at that, about how high that is. And if you've ever been out on that pier, like walking along, a sense of scale to know, like to look over the edge and see how far down the water is, etc. It gives you an idea. This was the day of the hurricane strength gusts of wind, and that is a seagull. I watched him through my lens, and he just got out of the top of that wave before the thing exploded. Now, that's 15, 18 feet tall. And I've likened some of these things to being near the volume of a regular size residential swimming pool worth of water going up, like just how much energy it takes to throw that much water straight up in the air. And then they get destroyed by the wind on top. And they happen in sets. These ones aren't particularly tall. They're maybe 10 feet, but it's the sheer volume and what the wind does to the top of it and how it throws the water off. Now, the reason that it's so brown, like the water is so brown, is because it's so full of sand. It's full of all the sand being like just carried off the bottom of the thing. So being downstream of that water, you're getting sandblasted too. You're getting so wet, but you're getting sandblasted as well. And this is one where I've photographed about, oh geez, 6 or 8 of these events. And it's just like some of the crazy moments captured in a split second of water, like this one here. The storm was so intense, and there was still some white clouds in the background, but then behind it, it was so dark, and the sun came out, and the light just got ethereal, like just absolutely gorgeous. Like this is not turning up the temperature, like on the white balance. This is what it was. Things like that. Look at the height of this thing. Like, look how big it is when it hit the pier. Now, this was one of the first ones that I attended, and I'm hanging on to one of the lifeguard towers, and the water is right up on the beach, and I've got like barn boots on, and I've got my 70 to 200 on my old 6D. This was, I call it the monster, the biggest one I've ever seen. This was a hurricane day. And I call them two different kinds of wave phenomena that happen during this time. There is a regular wave that goes up like a point and then gets destroyed by the wind and the currents from underneath. And then there's one that I call an eruption, which is like a flat area of water that just rises straight up like a plateau. And they have the biggest volume of water. This is the tail end of one of those. Now, if you look at the big cloud of water that's on the right, the plateau that rose out of this one, like the eruption, it was as high as the gate, like on the pier, and like that thing that is slamming the wave before it, that is slamming the pier, that goes down to like the third light pole. It was just the most enormous amount of power of a storm on Lake Erie or any non-ocean that I've ever seen. That thing was ginormous. I couldn't believe it. Okay, so oh no, what did I do? Hang on. Yes. And sometimes, like the designs you see, they are like photographing water drops with a macro and a flash. They're just so beautiful, like, and this is like a split. This is like 1/12/50th of a second or something like that, I mean, Frank's been down there doing this before.
How many times?
Yeah, it's wonderful. And this is just a very typical one slamming the pier with another one rising up in the back. One thing that we really like these storms for is that it cleans all the goose shit off the pier.
Nobody else does.
Yeah. Pardon? What's that, Frank?
Nobody else does.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
the rain and the storm.
Yeah, but that's the cleanest pier on earth, like, boy, does it ever get slammed. And you walk out there the following day and it's covered in a thin thing of sand that comes up from the waves, that gets carried in. And here's just some more typical ones that are just, beautiful to watch. And when the light is like the one on the right, it's just, like late in the day, and some sun exposure west of the storm. It's just wonderful. And things like that.
These are really gorgeous. They really are.
Oh, they're so cool. It is so cool to watch. And it's terrifying too, because you're not very far from these things, and you get wet. Okay, now, and because of the way of how the water goes from deep to shallow, it follows a curve that goes out from the pier and then it comes along the shore. So the energy line follows that. So these things dance in front of you from left to right. Frank, you've seen that happen, eh? Where they just come across you like it's really neat. Because they're both being pushed like from the forces below, and they're being destroyed by the wind above. And they happen in sets because one wave goes in and it gets reflected out and it hits the next one and they break apart laterally and then they go up together, you know? Like they happen like an actual set. There's 1, 2, 3 right there. Like, and those things are moving across in front of you. And that one in the picture on the right, the one in the middle is maybe 15 feet tall, you know. It just shows you like the amount of power. Like just look at how much water is being thrown up in the air. And water is heavy and it's got the weight of all the sand in it as well. There's some more pretty ones. Strange looking things that turn into like a vase. Okay, I like this picture. I was actually leaving and I turned around, and this is going over towards the pier, looking straight due south instead of southeast more. And there was this thing, and there's the fence. I know Frank's taken a lot of good shots down here like this. I like it in black and white as well, you know. It's
I like
got it's got a sparkle quality about it. Yes.
I like the black and white one better because I think especially because it creates more dramatic effect where the color one it's good, but like I think it looks a little like the color has like a little effect where it's like black and white. It just for something on the right for this particular photograph,
Yeah.
it creates a dramatic effect to it in a way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you, Maurice.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. And this is from the same area. I should actually revisit these in black and white too. But this just shows you like, you know, what you see and this is walking away from the beach, you know, and that's what you get. It's really quite cool. Now, I have read that there's only one other place on the Great Lakes that has like this effect happen, and that is up at a place on Lake Superior where they really have the Witch of November. Anyway, that there's only one other place where they've got a surface like the pier that's a reflector and it comes in shallower, like to make more energy, you know. Anyway. And the seascapes that you get, this was the this was during the really big Category 1 time. These photographs, I looked at these things. First, I saw them in person and I went, holy smoke. Like the light just going through that line there. And but I like this one. That is actually because I saw it happening and I said, this is one I've never seen before. That is a waterfall of rain coming out of the clouds with the sun on it. Like one isolated spout coming down. It's like a waterfall from the sky. And I'd never seen that happen before. And there was just enough water drops on the lens. This is with I'm going to say my 6D and a 100 to 400. My EF. Yeah, I think it is. And And the sun in that line, like on the back of the waves in the back, I was really happy with this one. Oh yes, then there are crazy people, and they are out there taking punishment. And there's Art Johnson on. Okay, now he's a good friend of Dave's, and he was with Dave on the very first time that Dave put the wetsuit on and went out in that, you know, like with his camera and his Aquatech housing. And I thought for a long time I'd heard somewhere that Dave wore a tether with a long rope on him and that Art was on the shore. Uh, and, but I asked Art about it a couple of weeks ago when I was out photographing eagles with him. And he said he didn't think it was like it's 11 years ago now. And he said, no, there wasn't a tether. He said, it would have been a good idea, you know, because like Dave was out in the danger zone, no doubt about it, you know. And there's a bunch of crazies. Like there's a couple of people on that beach that I know. Uh, I'm sure Frank's bumped into them once or twice as well. Like that's Donnie Moore on the left in the green jacket. And the one on the right was taken by Frank. It's taken by Frank Polsowski.
Yeah, I have many more.
Yep, yep. And he got this last December. It was like a couple of days after Christmas. There was a
December
big storm.
29.
Yep. Pardon?
December 29.
Was it the 29th?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So from right to left, like there's Dave, and he uses this little chair that sits right on the ground. And um and a monopod and his 600 millimeter f4 cannon. And then I'm sitting next to him with the red strap on, and that's Art on the left. And we're getting punished. It was cold, as Frank will attest.
This is in November, right? Because I imagine.
Nope, this was December 29th.
Oh wow, Christmas.
Oh yeah,
Talk about
yeah.
a holiday trip for this.
Craziness is what it was, you know, because even with good gloves on, your hands get just frosted, you know. And there's some more pictures of people doing the same thing. On the left, that is Art and Dave again. I think I took, yeah, I took that one. And getting up onto that lifeguard stand in that kind of wind with a $10,000 camera around your neck is no small feat, you know. And then there's the crazy people. This was the day of the near hurricane strength winds, and this happened about an hour or two before the wind started getting really, really strong. This is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the crazy wind came in around 4. Or no, these guys are earlier in the day, and it was already getting big. And they wisely packed up and left. But to watch these guys, it was just craziness, you know, because they're going to because they got those kites and they're going to get blown into the next county, you know, like And a final note. You're crazy if you go out there with one of these things without one of these things for bare minimum. And that's because the amount of dust and sand and water spray in the wind that is going to get into every nook and cranny of your camera, you know. And then when you get home, you'll wipe everything down and clean your gear, you know, because it's punishing. It truly is. And that's that's everything I got, fellas. That's all of them.
Thanks, Darrell. That was fantastic. But what I will
Well,
do right now, I'm just going to, I don't know if you saw the comments come up, but I'm going to put a couple of comments up that came in. And Adam Johnson said, "Hi, Darrell."
oh, cool. Oh, he's on.
And
Okay, hi.
yeah, and Art Johnson.
Yep,
All
good,
all the
good.
Johnsons are here. And
Well, they're a couple of my buddies, eh?
yeah, so they're on YouTube. Um, but he's saying he used to sit on the beach like Dave, but I got tired of getting soaked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's just brutal, you know.
So yeah,
We
that
all
was
would go into we all go into Mackey's to warm up.
yeah, yeah. Who brought the coffee, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, again, thank you very much, Darrell. That was educational, and I don't know how many of us are going to go down there this coming November and in the winter months to have a look at this. But one question excuse me, one question I have: how do you decide when to go? I mean, do you look at the weather forecast
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just and there's a whole network of guys. Like there's guys that come up from Windsor, you know, like a bunch of buddies that come up from Windsor, and there's all the Port Stanley people, and through Dave, um, like through Dave Sanford, like everybody has met everybody else, and we've established like this big circle of photo friends, you know, like Ann Stevens here in Port and Sandra and just like all kinds of people that are, you know, and and Donnie Moore down in Windsor and just all kinds of people that it just goes out and all of a sudden your phone lights up and hey, is everyone going to port in the morning? You know, like and we show up and we have a blast.
yeah?
Literally. We get blasted,
Hmm.
you know.
Okay, so do we? Does any does anyone have any questions? Oh, we've got a comment here. Happy Grand, great presentation.
Oh, thank you, Happy Grand.
Where's
I
Happy
have a
Grand from?
I have a question, Daryl.
Yes.
What's your main lens for this? Is this like a 7200 thing, or is this a wider lens?
Actually bigger. As 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 my starting starting with Jorj and the photography program, up until that point, the largest lens I ever owned was a 200 millimeter. And and, and now I regularly use a 100 to 500, you know,
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
for wildlife, for the waves, for just for all kinds of things, uh, because of its versatility as well, you know, like it's 100 millimeter or it's
Yeah,
five, and if it's on an R5 and on an R5 and you're using it in APS-C mode, you've got 800 millimeters,
right.
you
Yeah.
know.
So you
for
got everything you
birds,
need all in one
birds and
lens. Not
wildlife.
really the weather you want to be changing your lens at.
No, and as I said earlier, it's imperative to use some kind like of a camera case.
Yeah.
I use one of those ones. Hang on, I've got it right here. It's one of these things here.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Yep, it's that professional. Oh, come on, Darrell.
Yeah.
It's a rain cover,
Maybe
and
stop sharing your screen, then we could see you bigger.
I'm sorry, Gabriel, what's that?
You could stop sharing your screen, then we would see you in bigger.
Oh,
You're this tiny.
okay, hang on. Share. Stop share.
Yeah, now
That's
show
right.
it. Now you're big.
Okay, good, good. Okay, yeah. I call these things, at least the soft ones, I call them a condom for my camera.
Okay.
Okay, but and Dave and several other people I know, like they go out and they like these things are like that's about $35. And it's worth it because it's got these things on the side. You put your hands in each side, like here and here, and it'll take a lens my length fully open, you know. And it's got Velcro closures. I use tape at the end as well, like I tape it up, you know, and because um, it's very expensive to get one of those lenses serviced.
Where did you buy it? There, Amazon?
Yep. Yeah, just on
Okay.
yeah, just on Amazon and under uh camera weather protector, you know. And they're waterproof. Some of the better ones have got like a little window that will fit like right into your view screen thing, you know, and it's got a thing in the bottom for your like for your monopod, you know, and it works very well. And it keeps your hands a little warmer because your hands are inside the thing, you know. So yeah, those are important. But you always come away from a day out there
If you use it,
frozen,
can you
but
get away
really
with
feeling
Can you get
like
away
really
without
good, like you
power?
did some photography, you know.
So when I was talking earlier about the when do you go out there and the forecast, I noticed that Art posted something. I'll repost it here. Let's see, that should come up now. There we go. He's saying he uses a Windfinder Pro.
Yeah. Okay. There's a couple of apps that are really okay. Oh, in fact, Art just sent me something. What did he send me? Oh, it's unrelated. Anyway, where is it here? Let me see if I can find it. Okay. One of them is called Windy, and one of them is called Windfinder. And there's too much light. Okay. So one of them is called Windy. It's just, windy, and one of them is called Windfinder. And those two apps are really quite good. Um, they give you direction, they give you intensity, they give you timing. They give you wind speed out at the buoys, like out like at the weather buoys that are out in the lake. They give you wind speed on shore. Um, and yeah, that's right. George, you got it. Okay. Windy and wind finder. Those are very useful.
And Windfinders also can either be on your desktop or on the app, right?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I use it. I fish out on Lake Erie in a kayak, so I'm very
Oh yeah.
careful
Very
of the
good.
wind. So,
Very good,
then I have
Scott. Yeah.
another question.
Yes, sir.
The storms that come up in the summer, we get like wicked southwest winds kicking up in the summer with they'll call I watch the buoys at Point Abino
Okay,
and
where's that at?
Point Abino.
Yeah.
Well, that's down towards Fort Erie.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, technically it's a town of Fort Erie, but when you look at those, they'll be 12-foot wind, 12-foot waves, and bigger ones, on some of the storms in the summer. But would those storms work too, or is it
Well, those are
you
the
know?
same storms that we get here.
Yeah,
You know, I
I'm just trying
attribute
to say,
it
going when it's 70 degrees out, is different than when it's just slightly above freezing.
more pleasant for the photographer.
Got to be a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The reason that these are so intense is because of what happens on the bottom,
Yeah,
that it gets shallow so fast, and its energy is, of course, conserved. And so instead of volume, volume becomes velocity, and it moves in faster, and it hits a flat surface at a right angle, and it goes bang, and then it goes back out again in the same direction, and it meets the next energy wave coming in, and it goes straight up,
right.
you know. And that's what this phenomena is. And it's definitely like it has a limit for how far out it occurs. And the limit is where the water drops off and gets deeper, because that's the end of the upward transition. It, it doesn't happen out there. So it's just the beautiful lake in storm condition there, as I showed like some of the other frames I took, like to show that incredible storm out there. I was just, wow, you know.
It's impressive.
Darrell,
It was
again,
fun.
thank you very much for this presentation. I think a lot of people thought it was pretty awesome. I know that I thought so. And it's not that I think I would want to go down there in those conditions, but I'm glad somebody does. And I'm glad you gave us that link to Petapixel, because I've posted that both in YouTube and the information as well as in the chat here if anybody wants
Yep.
to go have a look at it.
Yep.
Um, Definitely
Oh,
do, because there's that, those waves have been photographed for quite a while now, and there are some
yeah,
amazing
10 years.
photographs.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yes. And I did find late this afternoon when I was looking around, I looked up the Board Panda article, and it's a very similar thing to the Petapixel article, um, but they caption all the various frames that Dave sent them, and they called one of them the Witch of November. And that may be the
Hmm.
source of it, like from
Yeah,
that 2015 article. And God, it fits well. It's just like it's something supernatural that happens out there, like in the fall. That is it's brutal out there, but it is to be enjoyed, you know.
it is. That's fantastic. Again, thank you very much. appreciate your presentation. And before I let everybody go, are there any other questions at all? Because now's the time to ask. No? Thank you very much for attending. I really appreciate you guys coming back here and giving us a nice little crowd and the attendance. I just want to remind you that Jeff Shaw will be here on July the 22nd talking about wedding photography and profitability and how he approaches it. Do drop by. I have other guest speakers coming. They're in the wings. I don't have a date yet. Like I said, I possibly might be able to get Nikon to come in and talk about cameras and some of the new cameras they have. I might be able to get, well, I know that Bell Art in Hamilton is willing to come on, and it's just a matter of them figuring out what it is that they want to talk about. So they will be here. And I have a few others that I'm waiting for. Now, having said that, if you know anybody that does some unique photography and would love to do a little bit of a presentation like this, please let me know, and I'll make sure that I send them an invitation and get them to do a little bit of a PowerPoint. We do a little bit of a rehearsal, just like we've done with everybody who's presented here. And it's always fantastic to see other people's work. It really is. Because in my commercial field, and for over the years, I never photographed waves like that. You know, done a lot of photography, but there's so much to photography that I haven't done and a lot of us haven't done. And you never know. One of you guys are going to end up down there on the shore of Lake Erie taking photographs this winter.
You are, Jorj.
Yeah, right.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on out.
So, with that, I'm going to just go to my last slide here and let's see. There. That's great. Now, I do want to ask for those of you that haven't done this, please, if you're go on YouTube and look at this later on, or if you're on YouTube, please give us a like. We always like a like. And also subscribe. There's going to be more guests coming. And if there aren't any guests, either you get a lesson in photography of some sort. And if that's what you're after, let me know. If there's something that you want explained, if you're a student of photography and need a little bit of help, we have people here that can help you. And I'm telling you, like in September, especially when the photography schools start up again, even at Mohawk, I encourage the students to come here to learn more and more about photography. So please do that. Please subscribe. And with that, I'm just going to say good night to everybody. Thank you for coming. And if you have any comments, any suggestions, anything at all to help improve this presentation, get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for coming.